Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, 2 Samuel chapter 13. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, you can send me an email. If you just have a question, you can also comment below. So 2 Samuel 12 started with Nathan talking to David about him basically sleeping with Bathsheba, killing her husband, and he gave him this little analogy. He said that the guy's got a bunch of sheep, and this other guy's got one sheep, and the guy stole his one sheep because he wanted it instead of using his own sheep. And it says here in verse 5, and David's anger was greatly kindled against the man. And he said to Nathan, as the Lord liveth, that man has done this thing shall surely die. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold, because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man. Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered you out of the hands of Saul. David's now realizing that he took somebody else's person, even though he's got 8 wives and a whole bunch of concubines. He went and took somebody else's wife for his own personal gain. Nathan was really mad at David. He confronted him, which is what a good person would do to somebody. It says, and David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said to David, the Lord has also put away thy sin, and thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, and the child that is born to thee shall surely die. So the first punishment he's getting is that the boy is going to be dead. The Bathsheba ended up getting pregnant, so he's saying this child's going to die. Well, he gets payback four different times. The first payback is David's son Amnon rapes his half-sister Tamar. Samuel 13:1 says, and it came to pass after this that Absalom the son of David had a fair sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon the son of David loved her. And Amnon was vexed, and so he fell sick for Tamar, so she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. So if you look at the family tree here, you can see David over here. Now David has a couple different wives, some concubines. And you can see here, here's Absalom, and here's his sister Tamar. And over here, Amnon is wanting to be intimate with Tamar, but it's his sister-in-law, so his half-sister, so he can't do that. But Amnon was a friend whose name was Jodadab, the son of Shemel, David's brother, and Jodadab was a very subtle man. You know, it's also really interesting in the Bible when you hear somebody who's really subtle. It says in Genesis 3, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, yea, has God said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? People in the Bible that are subtle seems to be kind of, doing some bad stuff, let's just say. Proverbs 13 says, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Proverbs 22 says, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. Back to 2 Samuel 13, verse 4. And he said unto him, where art thou being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said to him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jodadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it, and I eat it after her own hand. So he's saying, act like you're sick, be in bed, ask for Tamar to bring you some meat. And so Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said to the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come, and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. So it's really confusing, because originally he said meat, and now he's saying cakes. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go down to thy brother Amnon's house, and dress him meat. So Tamar went to his brother Amnon's house, and he lay down, and she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and he did bake the cakes. Now you have to understand that sometimes the word meat and cakes are kind of interchangeable, because the idea is, I want food, I want to eat something, and they call what you're eating meat. She took a pan and poured out before him, and he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said to Tamar, bring the meat to the chamber, that I may eat out of thy hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought him into the chamber to Amnon her brother. So he sent everybody else out of the room, because he was going to do something very bad. And when she brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for such thing ought not to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. So he basically tricked his half-sister, and now he's going to do bad things to her. Then I, whether I shall cause shame to go, and as for thee, thou shalt be one of the fools of Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, speak to the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit he would not hearken to her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and laid with her. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that her hatred wherefore he hated her was greater than the love wherefore he loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone. And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil is sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst to me. But he would not hearken to her. So he wanted to be intimate with her so bad that he did this really evil act. And now he did this evil act, he's like, I don't like her no more. And so he sends her away. And she's really confused. She's like, before you told me you love me, and now you're telling me you hate me. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then he called a servant that ministered to him and said, put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of diverse colors with her, and with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled, that his servant brought her out, and bolted the door after her. And Tamar put a sashes on her head, and rent her garment, and diverse clothes that were with her, and laid her hand on her head, and went a-crying. And Absalom her brother said to her, has Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister, he is thy brother, regardest not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's home. But when the king David heard all of these things, he was very wroth. And Absalom spoke to his brother Amnon neither good nor bad, for Absalom hated Amnon, because he had forced his sister Tamar. Payback number 2, Absalom's going to kill Amnon. Proverbs 6 says, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding, and he does destroyeth his own soul. A wound and a solder shall he get, and a reproach shall be wiped away. For jealousy is a rage of man, therefore he not spare the days of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though he grave as many gifts. So 2 Samuel 13:23 says, and it came to pass after 2 full years, that Absalom had sheep shears in Baalhazor, and beside Ephraim, and Absalom invited the king's sons. And Absalom came to the king and said, behold, now thy servant has sheep shears. Let the king, I beseech thee, and his servants go with thy servant. And the king said to Absalom, nay, my son, let us not all go now, let us be chargeable to thee. And he pressed him, howbeit you would not go, but bless him. Then said Absalom, if not, I pray thee, let our brother Amnon go with us. The king said unto him, why shall he go with thee? But Absalom pressed him that he let Amnon and all the king's sons go with him. Now Absalom has carried his servant, saying, mark ye now when Amnon's heart is merry with mine, and say unto him, smite Amnon, they kill him. Fear not, I have commanded you, be courageous and be valiant. So he's going to get revenge now from this guy violating his sister. He's going to get him drunk, and then he's going to take his life. And the servants of Absalom did Amnon and Absalom has commanded. Then all the king's sons arose, and every man got up from his mule and fled. And it came to pass when they were in the way, that tidings came to David, saying, Absalom has slain all the king's sons, and there was not one of them left. So Absalom only ended Amnon's life, but the servant told David that he killed all of them. Numbers 32 says, but if you will not do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and be sure your sin will find you out. Galatians 6 says, be not deceived, good is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, thou he should also reapeth. 2 Samuel 13:31. When the king arose and tore his garments and lay on the earth, and all the servants stood by with their clothes rent, and Jonadab, the son of Shemiel, David's brother, answered and said, let not thy sword suppose that they have slain all the young men of the king's sons, for Amnon only is dead, and for the appointment of Absalom has been determined for the day that he forced his sister Tamar. He's saying, don't worry, king, only one of your sons is dead, and he was killed because he forced himself on your daughter. Now therefore, let not my lord the king take the thing to his heart, to think that the king's sons are dead, for Amnon only is dead. Payback number 3, Absalom now flees. But Absalom fled, and the young man that kept the watch lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, there came much people by the way of the hill, side by side him. And Jodadad said to the king, behold, the king's son come. And thy servant said, so it is. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made the end of speaking, that behold, the king's sons came, and lifted up their voice and wept. And the king also and all of the servants were very sore. But Absalom fled and went to Talmai, the son of Ammud, king of Geshur, and David mourned for his son every day. So Absalom fled and went to Geshur, and was there for 3 years. So the soul of King David longed to go forth to Absalom, for he was comforted concerning Amnon, seeing he was dead. David had 10 minutes of fun with his neighbor's wife, and was it worth the price? Number 1, all the anxiety you suffered of hoping her husband would never find out. Number 2, a murder of your loyal general trying to cover it. Number 3, 9 months of not being right with God, or writing the beautiful psalms of joy. Number 4, one of your sons raping one of your daughters. Number 5, one of your sons murdering the other son. Number 6, not getting to see that son now. And number 7, more payments are still yet to be made. Numbers 32 says, but if you will do so, behold, you have sinned against the Lord, and surely your sin will find you out. Proverbs 13 says, good understanding giveth favor, but the ways of the transgressors is hard. This thing says, so sin will take you further than you want to go, keep you longer than you want to stay, and cost you more than you want to pay. Well, guys, that's the video. We're going to see more punishments that's going to happen in the next chapter. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, you can always comment below. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, just send me an email. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the 2 Samuel Bible study. Top left is going to be the 1 Samuel Bible study, and the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thinks you're going to like. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.